On today's episode, we are here in Mono, Ontario with Connected Emotion community member and experienced backcountry guide, Michel Godbout, as our guest celebrity chef. Michel has worked for Outward Bound as a backcountry guide and has led trips in the Arctic, as well as in the jungle of British Guyana in South America. Michel is a passionate outdoorsman and a retired elementary school teacher, and today he's here to teach me a special recipe. What are we making today, Chef?
Today we're making cinnamon buns.
Amazing, let's get started.
For today's recipe, we need 1.5 cups of flour, all-purpose, 1/2 cup of milk powder, 2 teaspoons of white sugar, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. We have some brown sugar we're going to use, 2 tablespoons of butter, 1/2 teaspoon of salt as well. There's some cinnamon, our raisins, and the secret ingredient is maple syrup. Dribble over before we roll, and we're going to add some bacon strips on top.
So you can make these cinnamon rolls gluten-free by using your favorite gluten-free flour, and you can also make them vegan by using a vegan margarine. You'll also need a frying pan and either camp stoves, or you can make these over a campfire.
So first thing we need is our 1.5 cup of flour.
Okay.
This one over here. Put that in there. Next, milk powder. Yours is the measuring cup.
Perfect.
That's 1/2 cup. 2 teaspoons of white sugar.
Okay.
Oh, a little more. A little
More?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. Next is baking powder and baking soda. So this one is about as much as you were putting, just the tip of the teaspoon.
Okay, perfect.
Not a lot. All right, and salt. A little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. Yep, good.
Okay.
Now we're going to mix it up. Okay, once it's nicely mixed, we're going to start adding water, and we're only adding a little bit at a time until we can make a dough.
Okay.
We don't want it sticky.
Okay.
All right, there's the
Oh
milk.
boy. Okay, a little bit.
Oh, and we also need to put a little bit of oil as well.
Okay.
2 tablespoons of oil. Once it gets to a certain consistency, we have to start using our hands.
Okay.
Oh, it's getting close.
Oh, I think so. I already want to touch it.
Yep, I'm gonna
Just go in there?
go in there with your
Okay.
hands now. Looking good, looking good.
Yeah. You're just mashing it?
I'm just mashing into a ball first, and then I'm just gonna
Okay.
start bringing it out. Sort of like pizza dough almost.
Okay.
All right, now we can maybe put it on our cutting boards.
All right.
I use my bottom of my hand,
Okay.
push the flour around.
Oh, I've got a hole.
Uh-oh. And once we get it flat, we can use the empty Nalgene to roll it. Oh, these are working quite well.
That is a perfect backcountry rolling pin.
Good.
Okay.
All right, so now we're going to add some butter. And you're
And we're just spreading?
I wouldn't spread, just little drops here
Okay.
and there, because you want it to melt. And
Okay.
next is the cinnamon. So you want to take the cinnamon and spread it around.
It's getting windy.
Yeah. Now we're going to use about 2 teaspoons of brown sugar.
Okay.
Next is the maple syrup.
Okay.
Basically, it's about 2 tablespoons worth.
And this is your own homegrown maple syrup,
This is
correct?
maple syrup made here,
Amazing.
off these trees in the driveway.
Wow. Some liquid gold here.
Yeah.
All right.
Good.
Nice.
Next would be the raisins.
Awesome.
Now we're going to roll it.
Okay. Along the long side?
Yeah, that's or go
Or
this way. Yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully our dough's not sticking to the.
Yeah. Well, I guess
We
we'll
waited
find
too
out.
long. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
All right, then you can sort of squeeze it a bit to extend it.
Okay.
All right, oh, looking good.
Yeah.
All right, then we're going to take a
Okay.
knife
Oh,
and see if we can
yes.
split this up into about 10 pieces.
Okay. Let me think this
1,
out here. So about
2,
like 2 inches thick, maybe?
oh, not even.
Not even. Okay.
About 1 inch at the most.
Okay.
9, 10. So I got to, yeah. And then I would put them straight into the pan.
Oh, these look so good.
Like sticky buns.
Yeah.
All right, and then we will be ready to go.
Sweet.
All right, let's pump up these stoves.
Yeah, we've cooked Michelle's batch and we're about to cook mine. We're using an MSR stove, and then we're gonna use Michelle's Outback oven, which is this handy dandy cover here. Just helps bake the cinnamon buns really nicely, but if you don't have one of these, you can just use a regular pan lid for cooking your cinnamon buns. So Michelle, tell me, how long have you had type 1 diabetes?
Well, this April was 42 years.
42 years, wow. And
Yes.
I know that you have kind of a wild diagnosis story.
First of all, I was at school in Quebec. You go to Cégep after high school.
Right.
I was doing a business degree. It was in April, exam time. I thought I was just getting stressed out over everything. I started losing weight. I started drinking water all the time.
Right.
At night, I'd dive into the ice cream. And I was living with my sister at the time because I left home when I was 16, and didn't know anything about diabetes. And one day at school, I just blacked out and woke up in the hospital. And then them telling me that I have diabetes, and I knew nothing about that.
Wow.
The doctor was the first thing is you're going to have to find some kind of job that's really low stress, office job, and that totally turned me right off, and I rebelled. I did the total opposite.
Yeah, you did. You did.
Yeah, I ended up going to university at Lakehead, doing outdoor pursuits, got into canoe tripping, climbing, whitewater kayaking.
Wow.
Total opposite of what they told me.
Yeah. How did you hear about Connected Emotion? And
Well, I've been living in Orangeville for at least 25 years.
yeah.
And I was sitting at the clinic, and there was this little brochure that said, Connected in Motion, people want to do outdoorsy stuff. And I said, oh my goodness, I've been doing this on my own for like over 20 years.
Yeah.
I only knew one other diabetic person.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So Ontario Slipstream was the first event you went to?
It was the one in just outside of Bancroft.
I remember actually at my first Slipstream, when I wasn't even a participant, I was a camp staff. Michelle was actually one of the first people I met. And I remember hearing your story and just all of the crazy adventures you'd been on and working, your jobs. It really comforted me and like inspired me because I was coming from a similar, backcountry guide background, and I was obviously concerned. But and you've also been passionate about advocating for men's mental health. And at our most recent virtual Slipstream, we had Dr. Mark Hyman, a diabetes psychologist, run a workshop for male identifying people to discuss men's mental health in the type 1 community. And since then, you've kind of spearheaded this group. Tell me about that.
That's correct. I remember talking to Jen all the time saying, we need more guys here. There's not enough men, or there are more, but they were all way younger than me. Mm. So I kept complaining, and then eventually Jen said, well, you have to do something about it. So
yes.
I suggested having a men's mental health group, and so she spearheaded in the virtual conference in Zoom, getting Mark Heyman. And then since then, I've been in touch with him. Actually, I was part of a podcast. He interviewed me talking about sort of what we call the diabetes desert, where dealing with diabetes all on your own and how that can affect your mental health. And I remember my first 20 some odd years of diabetes was all on my own. I didn't know anybody. Sure, my wife was with me at the time, and she still is my biggest support, but I had no other people to talk to. So it's a lot of stuff that we just, especially men, we just bottle inside and we don't talk about it. So.
I obviously haven't been to one of your sessions, but I've heard amazing things. And I really hope that it continues and that you guys continue to get support from each other.
So do I, and we've had our inaugural meeting. We had about 20 at the last meeting, so
that's great.
It's a good start, and
and
I'm sure we're going to expand and get more people to come in.
Absolutely. That is so great. Thanks, Michelle. Let's check on our cinnamon buns.
Yes, let's do that. They should be almost ready.
Check your buns. Make sure you flip them so they cook evenly on both sides. And don't forget the final ingredient, bacon. Unless you like to keep your buns vegetarian or vegan. Power to you. Thank you so much, Michel, for teaching me how to make your amazing cinnamon rolls. They are delicious.
Well, you're very welcome, and hopefully you'll get to use them on the canoe trip.
Oh, I definitely will. If you want to find this recipe, you can head to the Connect in Emotion website. It'll be up on our blog. And if you're interested in joining Michel's men's mental health support group, send Connect in Emotion an email and we will connect you with him. Thank you so much. I think it's time we try these. You did the carb count, correct?
Yes, I did. There's about 28 grams
Okay.
of carbs.
I guess I'll bolus for that now.
Yes, we better.
Perfect. All right, shall we cheers our buns?
Cheers the buns.
Oh my God. Wow.
The maple syrup does it.
It's so good. We'll see you next week on Cooking in Motion.